Hey everybody, welcome back. In our last video, we got these platforms moving and we're able to jump on them. What I want to do in this one is create a puzzle. So I'm actually going to move these over and I'll explain what the puzzle will be doing. But let me just put that there, put that there. Okay, so for our puzzle, what I want to do, I'm going to move this too out of the way. Um, What I want to do is make it to where we'll have a button and our player, when it stands on it, we're going to have a platform appear. If he moves off of the button, then the platform is going to disappear again. So in order to keep it to where the platform stays visible, we're going to create an object basically that we can push onto the button. And as long as it's on the button, then it will stay visible, right? All right, simple enough. So I'm actually going to move this up to more closer to our lives here. But what we want to do to start this, make sure you're on layer 1. Let's go ahead and add a physics engine. All right, and I'm just going to place it outside of my room. And let's go ahead and create a new active object. I'm going to place it right here at the end. Or no, I'll do it right here. That's fine. And let's rename this one to obj crate. And for this one, we're going to click on its movement tab and we're going to select the static movement. Okay. Now, let's double click to edit it. I'm going to select it all and delete it. And I'm going to paint it like a darkish brown color. That's fine. And what I want to do now is just kind of make it look like a crate. All right, that's going to be my crate. Go ahead and make sure it's centered here. I don't want to take too much time on art. I'm going to drag it up here just so you can kind of see. So now that we added the physics object to it, it'll go right through. But just like with any other object, we have to program the collisions. So I'm going to create a new group. And I'm going to call this, I don't know, puzzle 1. Okay, so we'll say when our crate collides with a backdrop, we want the movement to stop. All right, so now it should land on there, but our player has no interaction, so we can't do anything. And I'm actually going to put that sign behind our player too, because that bugs me. Let's go to order to back for the sign. And we can do the same for the crate. All right, now, yeah. Okay, that's working still. Just want to make sure, because I drag it up, so I want to make sure it's working. Okay, so now what we need to do is to have it to where our player can push the crate. So to do that, we just say if our mask is overlapping, or actually no, we won't do overlapping. If our mask collides with the crate, then we also just want to make it stop. Now we should be able to push it. All right, that's working. We do have a problem though. If we jump on top of it, it kind of goes into the ground there and it'll bounce out. I don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to copy this one here, which is our test for a jump through, and then it says if our mask is overlapping the platform, right? And I'm going to paste that in there, and I'm going to change it from the movable platform to the crate. And now we should just land right on top of it, but we can still push it. Okay. All right, so I'm liking that. Now let's come into our frame editor and we're going to add another active. And this one we're going to call obj button. Double click to edit it, select it all, delete it. And I'm going to choose a box. I'm just going to do a basic little button here. So maybe a lighter gray. I'll do something like this. And then I'll do a red color. And I don't know. Yeah, we'll do something like this at first. Make sure it's centered. Now we'll copy this one and paste it. And in the direction options, set the speed to 0 because we don't want it to animate. Go back to the frames. And in frame number 2, choose the eraser tool. Change the size down to 1. And I'm just going to make this look like it's gone down a little bit. So something like that. So that'll be it when it's pressed. All right. So now what we want to do is come into here. Well, actually, first, so we don't have any bugs, I'm going to add a qualifier to our player as well as to our object crate. So let's go edit, add, and let's just do a physical obstacle. I mean, it doesn't matter which one we choose, really. I don't know. I'm just going to choose generic one. That's fine. And we'll do the same thing for our crate. Add generic one. And okay. So now what we're going to do is say if a generic one is overlapping the button, then we're going to change the animation frame from animation frame 0 to animation frame 0, or 1, sorry, because animation frame 0 is the very first frame, animation frame 1 would be the second frame, and hit OK. And what we can do is just bring this down and we'll negate it, and we'll drag this, but we'll edit it, and instead of it being 1, make it 0, hit OK. So now if our player steps on it, it changes and it goes back when we're not stepping on it, and it should happen with our crate as well. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, so that's working. Now, last thing we want to do is create one final active object, and I'm just going to drag it here. I'll delete it. I'm going to paint it maybe an orange color. Yeah, that'll work. Go ahead and center everything. Hit OK. And what we're going to do is just drag it across this area. Looks like it's overlapping our backdrop just slightly. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to copy this as well. So Control C. And actually, let me just Control V it right here. Instead of making it to where our player is overlapping this, we'll say the new object, and we need to rename it F2 obj puzzle plat. So obj puzzle plat for puzzle platform. Okay. So now if we test that really quick, we can walk across it, right? Now we need to make it to where if that collides with it, it'll be the same thing. But okay. Next, what we want to do is come into our frame editor. We're going to make this invisible at start. And in here, we're going to say if we're overlapping this and this is visible. Right? So it's invisible. It's still there. It's just invisible, but we fall through. Right? And the reason why we died right there is because, remember, we still have these here. But okay, so that's working. So what we want to do is say if it's overlapping it, then what we're going to do is come to the puzzle plat and we're going to make it visible, so make it reappear. And then if we're not on it, we're going to say visibility, make object invisible. So let's play that. All right, it's invisible. If we step on it, it becomes visible. Get off, it goes invisible. And then if we just push our box on top of it, now it's visible and we can walk across it. So that'll get us across. All right, so that's good. And okay, I think that's going to be it for this one, guys. And I'll see you in the next one.